Ladies and gentlemen, live at the Apollo Bar, Clem Dane.
Right. Okay. Sorry. No, it's alright. Shake it like it's alright, man.
Who does that here?
Who does it? That's real hair. It's not mine, but it's real hair. You know? It's a transplant. Stick a thread up your nose, all the hair comes out through your head. That's it. Oh, I can stick anything on now if you lost a bit. Big Irish fella last week in Johannesburg lost his hand. Christian Barnard went and stuck a woman's hand on. See, when he goes to the toilet now, it won't let go. Then Big Murphy, he got a new heart and sent a get well card to the donor. Fantastic now. Transplant. I was glad when they done away with on leeches. I never fancied on it. See, coming out, I got on the bus tonight. I'm staying in the Gorbals this week. Eglinton Street. That's the British sector. And got on the bus, said Blantyre. He said, the bus doesn't go to Blantyre. I said, you have Blantyre in the front. You'd have got India on the tires. I'm not going home. And Paddy, he's on the bus with him. I said, get 2 returns. I'll get them coming back. He said, Mohammed, what do you think of Buddha? He said, it's better than the margarine. Much better than the margarine. I look at that box and what a letdown that John Conte was, eh? Oh, he signed a contract with Tampax to help him over his bad period, you know? That's my mate Murphy. He was using Tampax for 6 months. He still can't swim or ride a bicycle, you know. Better than sitting in the house, missus, isn't it? Then my dad, he was going to come tonight, but he's away in America. He's helping Petrocelli finish his house. Look at that Sue Ellen with that baby. That's a grudge baby, you know. Somebody had it in for JR. Did you see that? And we did see what happened to Pam and Bobby in the last one. See the skeleton? We see who the skeleton is, you know. I don't watch it myself right now. I know. And then David Hunter, he gets shot in Crossroads, eh? See if it's a success, they're shooting Sandy Richardson next week. They send him to Lourdes and put him into the holy water. He come out with 2 new tires and a handbrake. Murder. I was in that Belfast television show, Pass the Parcel, quickly. And then the Pope, he went to Ireland, they brought a new stamp out, and Ian Paisley bought the first one. He's in the next day, he said, it will not stick on the envelope. Woman says, you're spitting on the wrong bloody side, that's how it won't stick. And see when he walked off the plane and kissed the ground, UDA's looking for the guy who shouted duck. I don't bother myself because my mommy was one, my daddy wasn't one, he was one of them, but he was one. Used to sleep back to back, none of them would turn. Well, I'll tell you one thing, see if this national service starts, we'll see they carry on. I'd done my bit, you see, I've done my national service. I was in Carigna in Cyprus when the Turks fired the first shot. I was in Belfast when they fired the second shot. You know? Third Irish deserters. They've been the first, but the other 2 could run quicker than me, you know. No, it all happened. I got a letter from the Queen, Mrs. Edinburgh. She sent me a letter, you see. Philip's wife. And she said, would you come and fight for us, Clem? And I was down in London, so I went up to the palace to see her. And Philip came out and said, you've just missed her. She said, wait, we're Mother's Day. And she pays her catalogue on a Tuesday. And I'll I'll never forget that medical. We're all standing there in the nude, and this big sergeant's coming down. He looks at me, he said, "You're a bit on the small side." I said, "I thought we were going to fight them." And Mrs. Woman, wait, I tell you. There's a fella beside me and he's bent over like this, you know. And I said, I don't know what you're embarrassed about. He said, "Oh, it's not mine, it's the fella behind me." No. And he said to me, "We need a sample of your water, fill that tumbler on the shelf." I said, "Can I go over beside it, because I might miss it from here." And then they sent us to Kettering camp for our training, way down the middle of England somewhere. And I said, "Sergeant, 14 days leave, the wife's expecting a baby, sir." He said, "Come back to me and report back. 2 weeks. I said, "Right, sir." And I come back, he said, "What was it?" I said, "I don't know, it takes about 9 months. I was in the paratroops, 7 years. Well, that was a mistake right enough, because the guy said, "If you sign on for 7 years, you'll get 22 jumps a week." So, we're flying over Cyprus this day in the Zeppelin. And the commanding officer's addressing the parachute squad. That was Big Paddy and me. See, now when you jump out, count 10, shout Geronimo. A man barely alive. Poor man. He said, "Now your parachutes are slightly imperfect. Wait here about 6 feet from the ground before you pull the ripcord." Murphy said, "What happens if the parachute doesn't open?" I said, "Jesus, you can jump 6 feet, it's only that high." And we jumped out, you can down about 90 miles an hour, you know. And Paddy says, "What's that Indian's name again?" I'm not kidding you, Mrs. We landed in this cow field, and he wore one of them Reggie Boson coups, you know. And it fell off, and he must have tied 20 on before he got it, you know, he got it eventually. And they started to shell us, you see, the Turkish army, and he said, "See if I caught one." He said, "Will you pour a bottle of whiskey on my grave?" I said, "Certainly. You don't mind if I pass it through my kidneys first, do you?" And he says to me, "Do you fancy a milkshake?" I said, "I don't mind." He said, "You lie under that cow and I'll lie under this one." And I'm lying under the cow and he shouts, "This milk's a bit salty." I says, "Well, try a different tip." He says, "This cow's only got one." It took me a while myself, Mrs. When I got I'll tell you one thing, but see, helping people, you get no thanks for it, do you? See, the more you do for people, the less you're thought of, you know. See, her and her mother, Juz, too. What a woman, that, oh. She got flung out of the Bader Meinhof gang for cruelty, you know. She's gonna go to Wales and buy a house because she can come home to a real fire, you know. And I said, "Come on, I'll take us down to the pub for a drink," and her mother's on the gin, and I'm topping it up with domestics, you see, you know. And we come back and we bought the Chinese meal, and I went into the licensed grocers for the bottle of Buckfast, and we're back into that. The tonic wine. And I'm filling up her glass. I said, "I'll retire, pet." And I'm up the stairs in the brute on, you see, in the pyjamas, you know. Just in case there was a fire in the middle of the night. And she comes in with a C&A honeymoon Nadleggy, you know, with a fur around the bottom to keep your neck warm, you know. And she jumps into bed beside me. She said, "That ceiling's needing done again, you know." Well, a splitting sore head I've got with them weightings, you know, and you should see the pile of washing I've got to do tomorrow. Can you not lie on your own side? I hope that's your elbow. You get no encouragement to be romantic, you know. I mean, they're on the pill and the spring, the loop, the coil, like, it's going out of bed with a bloody motorbike, isn't it, you know? Well, at least you can kickstart a motorbike. I've always fancied a Suzuki. I've had a two-stroke, man. Last Friday, mind the slush was still in the ground. I'm coming down the street, you see, and there's an Alsatian coming down with a dash out, and the Alsatian said, "See this slush, my paws are frozen." I'm looking. And my dad, he's coming towards me. He only got the one glove on, and I never wear gloves because I don't feel right with gloves on, you see. And I'm looking at him. I said, "What are you doing with the one glove on?" He said, "I was watching the weather forecast. They said it would be sunny, but on the other hand, there might be a touch of frost." I said, "Where are you going?" He said, "I'm going to the doctor's. I was going to go yesterday, but I wasn't well." So I got him down, you know, the insulting room when you walk in. And we're all sitting looking at each other, and I'm reading the paper about the Titanic. Well, there's a woman walked in. And she collapsed right at my feet. Fell over, it's Gaelic. And I lifted her up and stuck her head between her knees, and she screamed because she had a fag in her mouth, and I know. And she walked into the doctor and he said, "Good morning, please. What is the name, please?" She said, "Fanny Aiken." He said, "No, the name first. The symptoms in it." I went in to see him and said, "My mother-in-law's at death's door. Could you pull her through?" We got this prescription. We're going up to the chemist, and I like a man to serve me in the chemist, you know. No, I've a drawer full of tins of Germaline, you know that. And the woman come up to the chemist to my dad. She said, "Can I help you?" He said, "I want a deodorant, please." She said, "Would you like the ball type?" He said, "No, it's just for under my arms, that's all." There's one guy, he come in, and he went up and he said, "Can I have 2 pounds?" She said, "Feather light or sensitive?" Or she said, "Would you like the coloured ones?" They come in assorted colours. She said, "Well, half a dozen." And he was in 6 months later. He said, "Do you sell maternity bras?" She says, "Yes, we do. What bus?" He said, "I think it could have been the blue one." Anyway, I'm going to do a song for you now. It's a funny song. It's a song that's been recorded before by Jack Cousteau on the album How I've Lived with Crabs for 25 Years. Anyway, if you get it, don't scratch it. There's only 6 copies available, and the song I sang on the Irish television show Looking Back. It starts at 8 o'clock and goes on to 7:30. And I'll do this song for you. I sang this song when I was on that Gaelic show, See Your Bertha. I don't know if you've seen it on the television. I had to sing that You Hear song. I didn't like that. A whole lot. They sent us to Ullapool, so way out on the west coast, to this big hotel called the Disappointed Old Maid. But they've changed it now to the Halfway Inn. And I'm talking to this Irish girl, her name was Sheila Blige, you know, and I'm saying, "Will I be the first man you've ever slept with?" She said, "If you go to sleep, you will be." And I said, come on, I'll run you home. She got into the car. She said, this is an old banger. I said, I've done over 70 in this one. And we're going down the road, and I pulled into the lay-by, and all of a sudden she's playing hard to get, you know. She said, I should have been in hours ago. I said, so should I have been in hours ago. And she said, I've got a bad heart. I said, I'll try and miss it. And excuse me, could you pull your skirt down a wee bit because you're sitting. And there's a knock on the door, and it's one of these Highland policemen, you know, 6'13", you know, the big thing. And he gave me a green bag, he said, blow, so I shut the door and buggered off. And I think he must have thought he recognised me. He thought I was that racing driver because he was shouting, come back here, Hunt. Oh, and didn't he jump into the panda car and after me and the blue light flash and the siren going, you know, got you. And he got in front of me and he put his hand out to stop me, but he wasn't strong enough. And she said, you're running over the cat's eyes, it's very bumpy. I said, no, it's the buttons on his tunic, don't worry about it. This is a song, it's about a club near here. I've been in some tough clubs, that one takes a bit of beating them. They have a waiting list to be mugged in there, do you know that? There's a woman in the front row, I thought she was laughing her head off, she was sitting with her throat cut, you know. I like to do this song for you, it's a beautiful song. It's a song that the night I done the night's club was with that Irish show band, Showaddy Paddy. I don't know if you mind that hit record hit me with your pick quick. I see the wee convener down there, he come up, he said, will you do something Irish in the second half? Went out and dug a hole in the pavement. Right, this is it. Oh, see the bingo, that was a farce. The bingo machine broke down, there was a hole in the bag, and they brought a cement mixer in that had all the bingo balls in it. And the wee convener's calling the numbers, 1 and 2, 3, you know, come on now. Unlucky for some, a woman said, how? She said, 14. She says, that's not unlucky for some. He says, unlucky for you anyway. Right, this is a song. In the night's club in Blantyre, where the bingo rules okay, call the numbers out in Latin, so the proddies can't play. Then they had the raffle, it really was a sin. Prize it was a trip to Lourdes or 2 weeks in Carfin. Now when I'm finally called home to the big club in the sky, and with the saints go marching in the sweet by and by, there'll be a committee man at the pearly gates selling the pies and peas, alongside Hector Nickel who'll be flogging his LPs. Some jokes he tells, isn't it? See that one he does about the nymphomaniac that sat in Pinocchio's nose and said, go on, tell me another lie. I had a good audience in the night's club. They were with me all the way. Shook them off in Edinburgh. Right, I'd like to dedicate this song to my mummy. She had 17 of her family, my mummy. She went to the doctor in Belfast to get sterilised and he boiled her in water for 2 hours. says, what about the pills? He said, it kept falling out the last time I tried it. Like somebody out of my shinny. He said, there's always the rhythm method. He says, where the hell do you get a Keeley band at 4 o'clock in the morning? I mean, you'll not believe it now. I was a breastfed baby, you know, till I was 9. I was that embarrassing at playtime at school. She used to come down and stick it through the railings, you know. And see if you seen somebody that you knew, she'd walk away and I'd be going it was different when we were kids, wasn't it? You know, oh, it was tough then. See if you had 3 jam jars, you'd have a tea set in them. See, in the winter time, she used to come into the bedroom with Mommy and stick a candle in a jam jar. And see if it got really cold, she used to light the candle for you. 17 of us. Friday night, that was bath night in our house. I was the youngest, I was the last one in. I used to come out mucking when I went in. You know, right. I'm doing my impressions now. And I'd like you to listen very carefully because I'll be asking questions when I'm finished. I'd like to start off with a famous Scottish entertainer, the one and only Mr. Hugh Smith. He was singing at my house the New Year. Here we go then. Did you see that Andy Cameron show on the telly? Oh, but I bet they're laughing at Holocaust, you know that. They wanted me on it too, but Beltrami won the case. Some lawyer, that Beltrami. He must have been, he got Sidney Devine off. You must know that joke about Jesus walking into the pub and putting 6 nails in the counter and saying, can you put me up for Easter? I mean, this is a Dylan song. It used to be in the Magic Roundabout. Here we go. A woman to the police, she went and complained I was attacked by a big Irish man. He assured he was Irish, so come tell me true. He was definitely Irish, should have shown him what to do. So the police held an ID parade and all of the suspects were there displayed. As the lady walked down the line, Big Murphy jumped out and said, that's her, the swine. Just make him up myself, you know. Uh-oh, seriously. Perry Como, here we go. I've been a wild rover. Dean Martin, in pubs where they sell a lot. Whiskey and beers. Frank Sinatra, I'm now wild rover. It's American. I never... Lassie, woohoo! I was in that film, Lassie. I played the lead. Then I was in that Irish film, The Bum. It's in 2 parts. I haven't seen the whole of it myself right now. See, some people tell Jewish jokes. I never do Jewish jokes. You know that one, why the Jews got big noses, they get the earth for nothing? I mean, I don't think I... You know how the Irish have big noses? We've got thicker fingers. I should have had my own trio from Belfast, 2 machine gunners and a mouth organ player. But they're busy tonight, they're blowing up a bus. I'd Pat and Mick walking by Buckingham Palace and hear this. Mick said, who's that? Paddy said, that's the Queen. So she's bloody good in that trumpet, isn't she? Did you get your new phone bill yet? I thought it was a new number. They're on the building site. Big Casey, he collapsed and died right in the middle of the dinner break. That's stupid. Couldn't do it in the firm's time. And they buried him. His last request was a marble headstone, 20 foot high. And it collapsed. Collapsed. See you now. See you now. I found out change of address. And then for Moher and got felt. What was that talking about before he shouted back? And his last request, a marble headstone, 20 foot high, and call up straight on top of the grave, and his wife said it won't stand up straight. No, that's a different joke. And the man said, well, tie a wire rope round it and tie it onto the telegraph pole, and they pulled it up, and my dad's gone down the road half drunk because he hadn't enough money. And he's looking through the gates of the cemetery, and he's seen the wire rope from the headstone to the telegraph pole. He said, Jesus, look at that. He's only dead 3 days. He's got the bloody phone, and we've been waiting 9 weeks. Well, I'm going to do some old songs for you now. Serious impressions. Yeah, you like this. Did you see that in the paper? Tonto's dead, wasn't that? Oh, come on, Sabi. I liked him. Mind that Indian girl that sat in Tonto's knee and started a big Indian uprising? Do you mind that? Indian chief, Sitting Bull, drank 300 cups of tea. Next morning, found dead, drowned in teepee. Have any Mark Bolan fans in? The Mini's back in the road. On the left-hand side, 400 Indians. On the right-hand side, 400 Indians. We're in trouble, Tonto. What do you mean we, paleface? I like that cowboy one. I'll do a cowboy song. It's a number entitled I've Been Lonesome in the Saddle Since My Horse Died. It's a lovely song. There's one of them black and white ones that show on a Saturday afternoon. You know, the old ones. In fact, it was that old Gabby Hayes got the girl in it. Say, bartender, have you seen Miss Kitty? She's got a pair of 45s. Revolvers? I've never seen them do that. Bartender, could you recommend something for my chapped lips? Said, son, go to the desert and kiss a buffalo's bum. Said, is that good for chapped lips? Says, I don't know, but it keeps you from licking them. I'll do the serious one. See, my granny, she used to sing the old songs, my granny. You know, the Light of the Silvery Moon. They were the good old songs. Aye. Imagine your kids coming up and saying, what was the songs you used to sing? You're going, do you want my body? I like Buddy Holly. That was my favourite, Buddy Holly. Mind all that. All my life I've been kissing the right one 'cause the left one's missing. I met it. If you knew Peggy Sue, you'll have caught what I caught too. I was taking a shortcut home the other night through Hope Street, West Regent Street and Blythewood Square. You see, well, I'd only an hour and a half or so to spare. And this woman come up to me, you know, and I think she was one of them destitutes, you know. She said to me, £5 for a short time. I said, I haven't had £5 for a long time. Right, so that. I said, I've only got £1 note. She said, oh, that wouldn't cover it. This is a Johnny Cash song. Big Murphy, he was that stupid. He thought Johnny Cash was a change you get out of a Durex machine. His wife went into the butcher. She said, 2 chops. She said, jig it. She says, would you give us a couple of chops? She says, do you keep drinking? He said, not since the operation. Johnny Cash. We pounded the road from coast to coast. Yorkie and me. Do you like that one? I've got him singing that one. I like that one. He does that. Well, Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Jack jumped over the candlestick. Great balls of fire. You really deserve me, don't you? Peter Morrison, you know him that does the double glazing, he's good. You know, I landed that tobacconist in Argyle Street the other day. I said, can you recommend a good dark shag? He said, have you tried the 3 degrees? They were going to go to Belfast for a show, then somebody told them Murphy's 19-inch was only a television set. Peter Morrison. You hear my chest? I've been in the hospital, you know. Man's trouble. Tell you this. Oh, if a lassie meets a laddie coming through the rye, she better have good thick knickers on, the thistles are off the high. I'll do Eartha Kitt for you now in colour. How would you like to be mucking the byre with me? Oh, what I'd give for a moment or two mucking of Geordie's byre with you. Darling, I'd hold you tight up to the... Well, I'll do another one for you. Well, I'm trying to do the sound effects and everything. Indian tribe with 3 brass balls, they were Pawnees. The Lone Ranger. Tonto, what does smoke from yonder campfire say? Help, my fucking blanket's on fire. This is it. With a drink from the bar and Billy on guitar, he'd tell us his stories and rhyme. And the pictures he painted in song were so clear, we'd be laughing one minute, the next wiping our tears. He sang about bees, if and ones if you please, of Annie and her famous yo-yo. Wayne's been flung pieces from multi-flat mums, and at the dog's party they all lost their bums. I remember him well, the stories he'd tell, the rusty old voice and the grin. Then he'd tell us a joke about King Billy and the Pope. I remember you well, Matt McGinn. When I heard he died, hung my head and cried, thought back to times we had shared. When I'd be sitting at home and he'd call on the phone, saying, Matt here with a new one that you haven't heard. Now he's somewhere up there in the sweet by and by, telling his tales to the angels on high. So keep us a seat, Matt, we'll be joining you soon. You can tell us the latest as you show us a room. I remember him well, the stories he'd tell, the rusty old voice and the grin. Then he'd tell us a joke about King Billy and the Pope. I remember you well, Matt McGinn. I remember him well, the stories he'd tell, the rusty old voice and the grin. Then he'd tell us a joke about King Billy and the Pope. I remember you well, Matt McGinn.